cactus and succulent growers, I'm Lynn. Welcome to Desert Plants of Avalon by the Sea. And today's video is a bit of a cactus rescue. And that is because I have my Polaskia, one of my Polaskia chichipes that I have had since I was 12 years old. So it is actually 42 years old. It's one of the very first ones I got. That we noticed today, we have a lot of the tall seriously type of cacti and euphorbia out here because we're waiting on a greenhouse build, which could be a few weeks yet. So we've got a lot out here. But when I was checking the plants this morning, I noticed that one of the arms, and I'll tell you why it's that colour now, one of the arms that these little branches was leaning over, and when I went to touch it, it was all soft. I was like, no, it's got rot. Could be trauma from the house move. No damage was done, but sometimes it can just be a shock to the plants, or it's just because it's a very old plant. So we cut the arm off and we put some of the sort of copper powder over it as it helps to stop infection and that. But as we went to check, pulled it away here, and look at that, guys. And this is the lovely Polaskia chichipe. It's probably almost 5 feet high, and it looks like it's actually rotting through the core. However, the top part is very, very healthy here, nice and fat and plump and healthy. And the bottom part, for what we can see, is very firm as well. So the good news is it can be saved, and we're going to get 2 plants out of 1. So obviously we're going to be cutting across down here to make sure there's no more rot, and this will eventually side shoot. Polaskias are absolutely brilliant at sending out little side shoot pups and all branches and everything, so it's very savable. And obviously this here, the rot that's gone, we have to take the cut in there, and then we can let this dry for a couple of weeks and then pot it up and treat as a cutting. So I've got Hansi, my wonderful partner here, with his amazing pruning shears, and he's going to do a drastic save on my 42-year-old very special Polaskia. I mean, I don't know why it's gone like this, because there was no damage when we moved, but we have had the weather unbelievably extremely hot and very, 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 very sunny, very unlike islands weather normally. And because of that, the only thing I could think of, it may have got a wee bit of sunburn, because I've had to struggle trying to protect them from the sun, because it's been so warm the past while. Not that I'm complaining, but it also could just be these things happen. Right then, Hansi's got his pruning shears, and now we're going to do the big cactus rescue. You need some strong pruning shears with this, and normally gloves, but in this case we're used to handling cacti. And the reason why I'm letting Hansi do this and not me is because I'm filming. Whoa. So it looks like there's a, see, you know, with rot, yeah, look at that. The core, this core here, it's a bit like when you cut into a cucumber. It should all be clear, but although it's not all brown, there's still a bit of brown there, so we're going to have to cut a bit further up. Also here as well, you can see the ring, but as the rot is there, we're going to go down further until it's completely clear, so there's no of this brown here. If you leave it there with any type of brown, the rot will continue to go down, so it's very important you have it clean. And I have made multiple videos on cactus rot saving, so I'll link all of them videos up above. Luckily I haven't had to do one for quite a while, but it's just one of them things when you grow cacti, sometimes SHIT, as I say, happens. Now guys, in between prunings, it's very important that you sterilise the pruning shears or the knife or whatever it is you use to cut a cactus when it's rotting, because remember, the rot deposits can be on the knife or the shears, so you have to really sterilise. We use the rubbing alcohol in between. Oh, this is going to be hell. Very woody. Oh. That's sunny today, guys. It might be difficult. Oh gosh, look. Looks like it's still spreading down. Oh, you can see this brown here.
you see.
Yeah, yes, you can see that's soft, it's swampy, that is rotting, it's that slow rot as well. So we're going to have to go a bit further again here. Oh, my lovely 42-year-old, old one. Right guys, we have to take a more drastic pruning. A good couple of inches down again. Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
I always get so worried about my plants. Have to just do fingers crossed for me guys. Let's hope that this is not, there's no more rot left. Let's hold the pots here. They're very tough. Old. Oh,
It's better.
yes. Yep, that is clear. You can see guys the difference. I just want to show you, just in case you encounter this, it does happen when growing cacti. This is the rotten one. You can see it's all brown. It's also soft and mushy. And here, this you can see is firm, no mushiness. And
this blue powder.
yeah, I'm going to put some copper powder over the top. It's a copper fungicide. And the reason why I do that is because it does help to prevent any fungus. When you've cut cactus, and it's the same with taking cuttings or whether you're trying to save any from rot. I mean, it's a lovely and airy and it's dry today, so there probably wouldn't be any problems. But I always like to dust a little bit of copper powder, or you can use cinnamon powder as well, and that just acts as a bit of a barrier, just a light dusting to prevent any fungus or bacterial spores from entering the cut until it's had chance to fully dry. But this is good news, and these pups are healthy here coming through. This is going to side shoot over time. So that's done, and then we've just got to work on the top one now. Now I sprinkle with a bit of this, it's called Bordeaux mixture, and it's by Vitax. It's copper in it, and it does help to prevent fungus and sort of supposed to help with bacteria, but I'm not so convinced with that. But they unfortunately no longer make this. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm lucky I've got some left, but it's now been replaced by something called copper mixture, but you use it in exactly the same thing. And I've just put a little bit in here, a little bit of a clean brush, and what I do then is just gently tap over it. But you can use cinnamon powder as well, as long as it's pure cinnamon powder. So I just gently tap over that, and that's just, it's not a necessity to do this, but I just think it acts as a bit of extra protection against any fungus spores from getting in. And although the weather has been absolutely incredibly gorgeous right now, you never really know how long it's going to last. So if it was to rain before it's had a chance to fully dry, this also acts as a bit of protection. Now we've got the top part, and as I mentioned, it's important to sterilise in between cuttings your knife or your pruning shears, which we've done here with the rubbing alcohol.
Yes.
So, oh, is it clean?
Yeah.
Yes, yay, happy days. This is a lovely top cutting here, and as I say, this plant I've had since I was 12 years old. It's one I got from my big brother when I was a kid, so I would hate to have lost this one. It is very, very special, and you can see how much fatter and longer the spines are on this top part, and that's because this is the part when I moved to Ireland and had it out in a greenhouse and in a polytunnel. It had the full light to really grow large, and it's one I'd take into overwinter for winter because they're not cold hardy, but it always gets plenty of light during the spring and summer months. And again, I'm going to sprinkle tiny bit of the powder at the bottom, not that I really need to because it's perfectly clear there. And then we're going to hang this up outside here, probably on the fence here, but I've had to do other cuttings with a few other ones, and being dry then hanging up, it will form a thick callus underneath over the coming days and weeks. And then once it's formed a thick callus, we can then pot it up, treat it as a cutting, and then it shall send out its roots and reroot, and the bottom part should reshoot again.
trim it to the core, you know.
Yes, yes, Hans is going to actually trim this now, because with cactus cuttings, if you sort of left it like this, it's okay, but it's better if you can trim the corners, and that's because this is where the roots are obviously going to come out around from the core there, but it's better to taper it at the edges. That Hans is going to show you how we're going to do this now. Right then, so Hans has got another knife now to taper it off around the edges. So if it's very bright, guys, it is really sunny, so it's not the best for filming, even though it's gorgeous weather. It's just tapering it off there at the corner, so it means once it's dry and you can pot it up again, it's going to be better for fitting in the pot and rooting. Yeah.
Because the roots is coming.
The roots come through the core, which is the round part. So there we go. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit more powder on that, let it callus, probably for a month, 6 weeks, and then we'll pot it up and treat as a cutting. So stay tuned for a video when we pop this up. As I say, it won't be for a few weeks, and we're going to have it, hang it up now so it can get plenty of air ventilation around it. Now we're just loosely tying a little rope around it, and that's because we're hanging it up to let it dry underneath, fresh air outside. And when you're taking cactus cuttings, you don't put it back out into a sunny position, because the cactus needs to heal it's where it's been calloused, and putting it up into bright sunshine when it doesn't have any roots can cause it to scorch. So we're putting it into a very bright, well lit, but away from direct sun. So with this little table here, perfect to put under the table, where it's going to get plenty of light, fresh air movement by hanging it up. Biggest mistake people do when they take cactus cuttings is cut it and put it straight into soil. Do not do that. It's important you let it callus, because otherwise it's inevitable rot's going to happen. They have to form a thick callus underneath, because cacti are very, very prone to rot if they've been cut and the cells are all moist and you put it into soil. So in this case, we're letting it callus this way by hanging it up, stringing it up. Poor thing, being hung. And this is shady under this table as well. It's very bright. This is another cactus cutting we took here. This is a Polaskia, and it got here okay after the move, but when we were sort of rearranging plants, it toppled over and snapped. So the bottom part is fine, but this top part we're also doing the same, letting it callus before we root it. Oh dear, what a dilemma. But it's good to be able to save this. So we're tying it to the leg. So it's good if you can, with cactus cuttings, if you've got somewhere outside, if it's spring and summer, obviously, have the cuttings outside to dry and protected from rain as well, because this is protected from rain. So if it does rain, it's going to keep it off this anyway, keep it dry. So there we go. Cactus I've now 2 pieces of that I grown 42 years ago, and this cactus itself probably obviously older than 42, because it was a tiddler when I got it, so it's probably about 45 years old, but I managed to save it, which I'm so happy about. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you all so much for your incredible support. And do stay tuned for lots more videos coming up, and updates on the cacti and succulents. If you haven't done already, do please subscribe and click the notification bell, and also follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, or Twitter X as it's called now, at Desert Plants of Avalon. And I want to wish you all an absolutely fantastic cactus powered day.